Hello people, it's a Secret Anime fan here. Today's video is going to be on Alva, Pizarro, Manwolf, Vasco Shot and Catarina Devon, and this video will be their story and an overview of their characters, so let's get started. Oh, and of course there may be spoilers, but I'll try and keep them to a minimum. I must also say, with trying to keep spoilers to a minimum, for those who are aware of the One Piece story may notice things are not in full detail. If you get what I'm saying, kind of like slightly awkward as to not spoil, so hopefully you don't get annoyed as I try to phrase things in a non-spoilish way. Me and you, the viewer who know the One Piece story, both know it of course, but I'm just trying to get more people into One Piece, so yeah, let's continue. Now I was going to do a video for each of these characters, but their story is so short and a lot of it is intertwined with each other that I thought I might as well combine them. All four were characters freed when Blackbeard entered the infamous Impel Down prison. They were given a life sentence and was placed in the secret level floor of Impel Down. It was more like a kind of secret, not secret to the officers but to the prisoners. It's like a rumoured floor of Impel Down. It's the bottom floor of Impel Down and the place where the most high profile and dangerous inmates are held, where they are placed in to be erased from history. The four characters were renowned criminals in their own right and feared in the One Piece world. Okay, now time for the history, appearances and story of Alva, Pizarro, Manwolf, Vasco Shot, Catrina Devon, and I will start with the parts where the stories are intertwined and go into more separate details. When Blackbeard invaded Impel Down, he instructed the inmates to fight each other and the victors would be set free and join his pirate crew, and thus Alva, Pizarro, Manwolf, Vasco Shot, Catrina Devon did fight their cellmates and were 4 of 5 to join the crew. Just to make clear, the other 5, or should I say 4, because Shiryu of the Rain was already released to take care of things as he was a former chief guard of Impel Down that was imprisoned. They were their respective winners of their cells, and the 5 that joined didn't fight each other, at least that's to my knowledge. Now I'm going to talk about Marineford, but don't worry, I'll try to keep things to an utter lower level of spoilers. We see all 4 appear with the rest of the Blackbeard pirates at the end of the Marineford arc, where we see them and the other crew members attack Whitebeard. We see Sanjuan Wolf hiding behind the Marine headquarters. Yes, he really is that big. He was the only one not to attack Whitebeard. He seems calmly surprised from being recognised by the Marines and seems to slightly like the fact that they recognised him. After things have settled down, we see Alva Pizarro laughing as Blackbeard is what I guess I can't really say as it's spoiler territory. We then see them blown away by Sengoku's badass attack. The Blackbeard crew make a hasty exit as one of the big shots enter the fray of the Marineford arc. They were later seen with the rest of the Blackbeard crew on a flaming island where they had spoiler incoming. They had managed to capture one of the 11 supernovas. I won't reveal which one, go find out for yourself. They were to hand over the supernova to the Marines but bailed out once they found out Akainu was the one coming to collect the supernova. Akainu is one of the Marine admirals and is a no-nonsense Marine wanting to capture all pirates no matter what. They were actually going to exchange their prisoner for a battleship, which would have been an upgrade to their ship, but as I said, they left, so I'm assuming the deal fell through. Their ship may have possibly taken damage to Sanjuan Wolf's size. We hear mention of them and the rest of the Blackbeard pirates during the time skip where they were doing things here and there, growing in power and influence, and with this the Blackbeard pirates expanded into a fleet where all 4 were to become captains of the segment of the Blackbeard fleet called the 10 Titanic Captains. Avalo Pizarro is the captain of the 4th ship of the fleet, Sanjuan Wolf the 7th, Vasco Shot the 8th and Catrina Devon the 6th. We see mention of the 4 and the rest of the Blackbeard pirates here and there, with one big mention of them clashing with another big shot character in the One Piece, but I will leave it at that. Now to move on to each character's individual story, and let's start with Alva Pizarro, who was once a king. He ruled over his kingdom in the North Blue. North Blue is one of the 4 seas in the One Piece world. Hopefully it will be displayed on screen for a better idea of the 4 seas. Anyway, Alvaro Pizarro was overthrown from his kingdom due to his corruption, using his power as king to fulfill his own goals and needs. After being overthrown, he went on to be a feared criminal in the One Piece world, causing terror until he was subsequently captured by the world government and sentenced to life in prison. Manwolf was born in the West Blue, so he's not a giant that was born in Elbaf, the home for most of the giants. At some point he ate a devil fruit that gave him his increased size. This was surprising as I didn't even know this, or it totally eluded me, but by looking at the internet it seems it was revealed in one of the data books, so I'm going to try to get my hands on those soon. He, like all 4, was a known criminal before getting captured. Now there's no backstory on Vasco Shot and Catrina Devon that I know of currently out there on the internet or in the anime or manga, but Catrina Devon was touted as one of the worst female criminals in the golden age of piracy in the One Piece. I think Big Mum has probably got a beat on that aspect though. Okay, let's move on to their personality, starting with Alva Pizarro again. There's not much to say as he got such little screen time so far, but he is always seen smiling during his appearances, even when attacking, so assumingly there's something not quite right with him. So he likely has a weird and most likely sadistic personality and that enjoying life kind of personality. Unfortunately, his life has been filled with crime and atrocious acts. Now, he may not have had this personality when he was king, but since he was a corrupt king, it can be assumed it is part of his personality to be greedy, selfish, and self-serving. And being a former king is part of his personality to want to be a leader, even about joking that he should be the leader of the Blackbeard pirates, but I guess he has to settle with a captain of his ship. This kind of joking can also be seen as part of his personality, as he's not so serious as to not crack a joke and must be brave enough and confident enough to crack this kind of joke in front of Blackbeard and the rest of the crew. He also has a tendency to leave the word naya after speaking, which is the English equivalent of meow in English, further reinforcing his weird personality. Okay, let's move on to Catrina Devon. She most likely has a sarcastic personality, as when joining the Marine Forge she is recognised, she says something along the lines that she likes them too. She might also have a materialistic personality, as she's keen to get new clothes to swap out the prisoner clothes, but at the same time I can't really blame her. But she is the only one to mention wanting new clothes. She also has a weird and twisted side to her, wanting to collect the heads of beautiful women. Side note, you'll also notice most of the Blackbeard crew are weird or eccentric in their own ways. She also displays a sadistic side when, slight spoiler incoming, she mocked Gecko Maria, who was once one of the 7 warlords, over the death of one of his crew members, taking the chance to take his form via a devil fruit, giving Maria a false sense of happiness and hope, only to have it come crashing down when it was revealed it was her, not his beloved crew member. She, like most Blackbeard pirates, has her own distinctive laugh. Okay, let's move on to Vasco's shot. He seemed to be on the more vicious side compared to the other Blackbeard pirates, and they're no angels. I say this because when arriving at Marineford, he is eager to get to killing the Marines and pirates present, asking Blackbeard if he can get permission to start killing all the people present, or didn't really ask permission, he just says it out loud, to be honest. No, I also said, oh, this shows he has a brave personality, as there were some big shot characters present at Marineford. Vasco's shot has the nickname Heavy Shot, which as the name indicates he loves his alcohol and he's always seen drinking, thus it becomes a staple of his personality. Maybe that's why he's so brave and wants to have a ruckus all the time, he's just too pissed up to care. He has that anime style of drunk personality, so he's always hiccuping mid-sentence, saying stupid things, and is meant to come across as funny, even though he does say some quite serious things. Now, we don't actually know what his personality is like when he's sober, but it would be interesting to see what it is like, so maybe one day Oda will reel it. Maybe he has some kind of timid personality when sober. That would be pretty funny. Okay, and finally we have Manwolf, and his personality is on the more unique side of the 4 escapees. Sure, the other 3 are different in their own way, but Manwolf has a somewhat light-hearted, playful manner to his personality. There's not much sense of excessive violent tendencies, although he was a notorious criminal before getting caught. He shows surprise when he's noticed by the Marines at the Marineford, reacting in a somewhat childish manner, and since he was hiding behind Marineford despite being one of the biggest characters in One Piece, that could also be seen or show his childlike personality, as it comes across as a small child playing hide and seek but is really bad at it. This could also be interpreted that he is shy, and it is a big part of his personality, most likely, especially as he stays where he is despite the rest of the crew taking part in the war. He's also shown to complain and is even scolded about his behaviour, or perhaps because of his size, by Blackbeard. Now let's move on to their abilities and power. Let's start with a broad statement of them all. They must all possess immense power, as they were categorised as level 6 prisoners, but I've already touched on that subject, so let's move on. They may all most likely possess a little bit of ability in leadership, to be assigned captains of their ship, but the kind of character Blackbeard is, maybe he didn't put much thought into it and gave their positions on the fact that they're all powerful. Moving on, let's start with Manwolf this time. Manwolf is one of the largest known characters, if not the largest. It's come under debate recently, but I won't go into that. Either way, with his massive power, he must have immense destructive power, durability, and likely high stamina. On the stamina point, he may have quite possibly swum all the way from Impel down to Marineford, which would have required a lot of stamina. Or he may have had to swim part of the way, as his devil fruit powers let him grow in size, and may have just sat on the boat like a normal sized giant. but had to get off here and there as to not sink the boat. But that leads on to my next point. Being a devil fruit user, Manwolf is able to withstand the negative effects of being in the sea despite being a devil fruit user. Just to quickly explain, when devil fruit users come in contact with seawater, they become weak and tired and their power starts to drain. Now, people have been calling this a plot hole, but Oda has yet to fully explain this, so I have faith he will explain this one day. But my thoughts are perhaps giants react differently when in the sea as compared to other devil fruit users, and their size and durability enables them to withstand any major adverse effects. To a certain degree, of course, that's not to say he isn't affected by water. If you see chapter 595, he seems to be affected by being in water. If you're familiar with what I'm talking about, let me know in the comment section what you think. So let's move on. There's not much info on his current devil fruit or even when he ate it, i.e. pre-time skip or post-time skip, but I think it was pre-time skip since he was so large on Marineford. Unless that was his normal size, who knows. His devil fruit power lets him grow in size. If you were to add to the fact that he is already a giant, it becomes quite the powerful devil fruit for Manwolf to have. Now, I can't find if he's able to shrink by using his devil fruit. What I mean by that is shrink to a lower size, as in like smaller than a giant, but by the looks of it, he can only grow from it and then has to revert to into his normal size of a giant, but I may be wrong. Just to quickly add that Sanjuan Wolf being a giant means he's already innately stronger than a normal human, or a human, because they're giants, humans, minks, seamen, and I think maybe one more race in One Piece. Unfortunately, there's basically no information on Vasco's shot. He's not even mentioned in the recent manga chapter of 925, so let's move on. All you need to know is that he is powerful. Okay, let's talk about Catarina Devon. She is one of but a few of the 10 Titanic captains to use a weapon other than a gun. She uses a spear in Marineford and seems to be pretty decent with it, even managing to damage Whitebeard, but later on she's seen with a sword. So it can be assumed she is more comfortable with a sword and is likely highly skilled in it. It's also been stated that she uses a whip, but I have no recollection of this, but if that's true, then that shows she has quite the versatile skill in weapons and has the ability to adapt to any kind of weapon, although this may also mean she's not proficient in swordplay, just a jack of all trades when it comes to weapons. Catarina Devon has the Inno no Mi mythical Zoan devil fruit and Nine Tails fruit model. By the way, some devil fruits have models / versions. For example, the Inno no Mi has the other models like Wolf, etc. This Nine Tails version though lets her transform into a Nine Tails fox, and she can transform into clones of other people. If you want more idea of the Nine Tails fox, on the internet, search up the fox spirit from Chinese folklore for the possible idea of where this devil fruit may go in terms of power. And that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I have more videos like this on my channel and I plan to make more and expand into other anime. So if you have an anime that you want me to do a character story on, let me know in the comment section. Make sure you like and subscribe, and see ya.